Hi there, and welcome to our One-Way Gatherings online virtual gathering this week. We hope that you've had a great week, and we thank you for joining us again, and just hope that you enjoy this week. This week we've got a big weekend. We celebrate the National Day of Thanks. That's a great time to take a bit of time and just say thank you to all the people who are around us and help us and sometimes that we don't even think of. So we're just taking a bit of time out today to do that with a special video that we've put together. And of course it's also Pentecost this weekend, so if you're wondering what that is, we're going to give you a bit of an explainer on what Pentecost is in the Christian church. So stick around and enjoy that time, and of course if you've got anything that you'd like prayer for, just let us know. And don't forget to set a reminder, 7 p.m. on Fridays or 9 a.m. on Sundays. No worries, catch you everyone, bye!
God, I look to you, I won't be overwhelmed. Give me vision to see things like you do. God, I look to you, you're where my help comes from. Give me wisdom, you know just what to do. You do. God, I look to you, you're where my help comes from. Give me wisdom, you know just what to do. Forever all my days I will love you, God. I will love you, Lord, my strength. I will love you, Lord, my shield. I will love you, Lord, my rock. Forever all my days I will love you, God. Hallelujah, our God reigns. Hallelujah, our God reigns. Hallelujah, our God reigns. Forever all my days. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, our God reigns. Hallelujah, our God reigns. Hallelujah, our God reigns. Forever all my days. Hallelujah. Forever all my days. Hallelujah.
Hi, it's Uncle Gazza here to help you through the coronavirus crisis. Most importantly during this time, you need to keep fit, healthy and do some exercise. For example, every morning I get up at 5 a.m, I put on my tracksuit pants and I hop back into bed because it's pretty cold. I was doing some exercises this morning. I was wondering maybe I could learn how to do the splits. So I rang up the gym. In fact, I spoke to Jim and I asked him, could you teach me how to do the splits? And he said to me, well, how flexible are you? I said, well, probably couldn't do Thursdays or Fridays. How important is sport? Well, very important. In fact, it's mentioned in the Bible twice. In the Old Testament, it talks about tennis. That's when Moses served in Pharaoh's court. Then cricket was mentioned in the New Testament. And this is when Peter went up to the mountain with the 11 and was bowled. I'll leave you with this story. Story of a man who went overseas for work purposes, and his wife was going to have a first baby, and the baby was coming early. And so he was called to come back, and he arrived on the opening day of the test match at the MCG. So it's pretty crowded when he was coming to the city. And so he's waiting to get to the hospital in the city, and he quickly rang the doctor, had a direct number, but he misdialed the number. And accidentally he dialed into the MCG. Thinking he was talking to the doctor, when I answered, can I help you? He said, yeah, can you just give me an update? And the guy on the other end said, sure. At the moment, we've got 4 out. We're hoping to get 2 more out before lunch. And the last one was a duck. Bye for now. This was Uncle Gazza.
G'day, Colin Buchanan here. I've travelled around this great country long enough to know we've got a lot to be thankful for. And that's why I'm proud to be an ambassador for the National Day of Thanks. It's an opportunity to say thank you to God and to those making a difference in our community. You could organise a community or church event, hand deliver some thank you cards, or even start a gratitude journal. Visit thanks.org.au to find out how you can get involved in Australia's National Day of Thanks, the last Saturday in May.
This week, the Christian Church celebrates Pentecost. Pentecost is a Jewish holiday 50 days after Passover, the day when Jesus was crucified. So Pentecost takes place 7 weeks, or 50 days, after Easter. The celebration this year falls on the 31st of May. The Jewish men were all required by Jewish law to be in Jerusalem to celebrate this festival, so the town was packed with visitors this weekend in history. The Jewish men came from every nation under heaven: Cappadocia, Pontus, Asia, Egypt, Libya, Rome, Judea, Arabia, just to name a few. This is important to give you an idea of the setting at the time. The believers and disciples were also in Jerusalem after they had watched Jesus ascend to heaven. So, what is Pentecost? Pentecost is when the Christian Church celebrates the day the Holy Spirit came to dwell amongst the believers. In Acts chapters 1 to 2, there were about 120 followers of Jesus gathered in prayer in an upper room of Jerusalem, having recently seen Jesus depart and return to his Father in heaven. While the believers were gathered, the Holy Spirit came upon them with the presence of flames or tongues of fire above their heads and the sound of a violent wind. These symbols represent the church being given special power by God. So, were they really on fire? No, the heads of people weren't on fire. It was the best way the author could describe what he was seeing. Remember, at this point in time, nobody had seen anything like this before, so he was describing something that had never been seen. So what power did they get? Initially, the believers all started speaking in different languages. With all the Jews in town, this proved to be quite helpful because suddenly all the believers could speak to the visitors in their own language. That certainly got the attention of the visiting Jews. As well as that, the believers also got the Holy Spirit to help them on a permanent basis. The Holy Spirit was now with them to help them wherever they went, ministering to other people. So what's the significance of Pentecost? This event of Pentecost in Jerusalem signified the beginning of the Christian church as we know it. It was a day when the work of God and Christianity expanded beyond the people of Israel to all believers, wherever and whatever their ethnicity or nationality. On this day, with the help of the Holy Spirit, Peter gave a Sermon on the Mount that saw over 3,000 people become new followers of Jesus. So back up a moment. Who is this Holy Spirit? Well, the Holy Spirit is the third person of the Trinity. So if you tuned in a few weeks ago, we had Andrew give a brief overview of the Trinity. If you missed it, you can catch it on our YouTube channel. The Holy Spirit was there from the beginning. He is not a ghost or a force, but a part of the Trinity who helps all believers in their daily lives. So why is Pentecost important, you might ask? Well, celebrating Pentecost acts as a reminder about the Holy Spirit. Often the Holy Spirit is the forgotten person of the Trinity. However, the Holy Spirit is a very important member, one we need to take the time to get to know. Pentecost reminds us of the power of the Holy Spirit. Pentecost gives us hope. At a time the disciples were discouraged, the Holy Spirit came in power, bringing encouragement and hope. Things happened. People were converted, new languages were spoken instantly. The church grew. We have the same Holy Spirit with us today. So as believers, the day of Pentecost reminds us of the Great Commission and encourages us here in our life here on earth. It's a great celebration in the Christian church, and it's a time of rejoicing amongst the believers. So hopefully you found that informative, and sometime in the next few weeks we'll explore in a bit more detail some of the concepts we've raised here, and we'll talk a bit more about the Holy Spirit. We hope you have a great week. We hope that you've enjoyed tonight's session, and if you've got any questions, just drop us a line, and say good day, and we'll do our best to also answer your questions. Anyway, have a great week coming up. Bye!